Hey, you ever accidentally break something really expensive? Come on, be honest. Well, if you have, then you know how awful it feels. So imagine breaking something really expensive that also happens to be the last of its kind. Yeah, that's great. Just leave me alone. I'm not worthy. But in the end, I'll let you decide if I am or not. It all depends on what happens next. This is a story about loss, but also second chances. It's called The Last Ember. The world is dying. Magic is disappearing, and with it the world's beauty and wonder. People huddle around dying fires, desperately trying to keep warm in homes with boarded-up windows. All around them, trees wither and die. Even memories seem to fade. In this dying kingdom, there is one place that still bustles with activity, the great city of Emberfall. Here, amid the soot and grime, people still work as if nothing is wrong. For here they mine ember, fragments of magic that once fueled the world. Now they can at least keep the fires burning and the forges hot. One such forge belongs to Balder, a gruff old man with a bushy white beard who takes pride in his work. Each morning he lights his forge with a small living ember, passed down from his father, a king's tax collector so long ago that no one remembers when. And each evening he stokes the forge until it dies out. Then he puts the ember in a clay pot to rest. For years, these embers have been the only thing keeping magic alive, the only sparks in a dying world. But recently, they've begun to die out faster than he can make them. And his apprentice, Alaric, has found one that won't even stay alive for the night. It's too weak, says Baldir, his voice like grinding stones. By tomorrow, it will be gone. He throws the useless ember into the trash pile behind the shop. Every morning, Alderic sorts through the trash, salvaging any ember he can. But today, he sees something different. Hidden under a loose brick, he finds a tiny clay pot with an ember glowing faintly inside. He picks it up and turns it over in his hands. It's warm, almost uncomfortably so. Then he hears a voice. "Hey, kid, could you put me back in the forge?" Startled, Alaric drops the pot. The ember rolls away, and he stares after it, dumbfounded. Did he just hear it speak? Was it some trick of the dying magic? Then the voice speaks again. "Hello? Anyone there? Put me back in the fire." Alderic cautiously picks up the ember and looks around to see if anyone noticed. But everyone is busy rum family, arguing over prices with a merchant, children fighting over a crust of bread, a cat scavenging for scraps. No one paid him any attention. Alderic carries the pot back to the forge and lays it on the anvil. With shaking hands, he reaches out and touches the pot to the dying embers in the hearth. At first, nothing happens, but then the embers glow brighter. Then the pot cracks and a plume of smoke shoots up toward the ceiling. From the smoke, a shape begins to form, taking on more definition with every passing second. Finally, it solidifies into a tiny dragon, no bigger than Aldric's hand. She looks at him with large, luminous eyes and speaks in a surprisingly deep voice. "Thank you for returning me to my home." She looks back at the dying embers, and with a flick of her tail, blows them back to life. Embers spring up and dance around the forge, growing brighter and hotter with every flicker. The forge is alive again, pulsing with raw magic. But Alaric knows that she can't stay here. The magic that sustains her is already draining away. If she stays, she'll die along with it. And so he does the only thing he can think of. "Take me with you," he says, surprising himself with how firm his voice is. "What?" The little dragon tilts her head, confused. "You would come with me? But why? You don't even know where we're going." "I'd rather go with you than stay here and watch you die." She looks at him for a long moment, then nods slowly. "Very well. But be warned, if my magic fades, I will die and take you with me." Alaric nods and, remembering the king's old stories, bows low. "Then lead the way, my princess." The dragon lands on his shoulder, and together they step out of the forge. The world outside is cold and dark. They fly over rooftops, Aldrich bracing himself against the wind as the dragon beats her tiny wings furiously to keep them aloft. Soon they leave the city behind, and the darkness thickens. After what feels like hours, Aldrich sees a faint light in the distance. As they approach, he sees that it comes from a cave carved into the side of a mountain. At its mouth, a wisp of white smoke curls into the air. When he tells the dragon that they should probably wait until morning to land, she shakes her head. "We don't have time. My magic is already fading fast. We must rest in the Fireheart Cavern. Maybe there's enough magic left there to sustain me." Aldrich sees the determination in her eyes and knows better than to argue. Besides, he's curious to see what's inside the fabled cavern. As they enter, he feels the familiar tug of magic, a sensation he hasn't felt since he was a child. Inside, the walls are lined with crystals that pulse with a soft inner light. In the center, a large crystal sits on a pedestal, radiating waves of power. The dragon wastes no time and flies straight for it. As she touches the crystal, a bright white light erupts, washing over both of them. When the light fades, the dragon is gone, and in her place stands a magnificent beast. She towers over Aldrich, her scales shimmering like 1,000 stars. Her eyes blaze like molten gold, and her wings stretch out like banners of night. She looks at him curiously. "So, do you think you could maybe turn back now? You kinda scared me." She shifts restlessly, sending a shower of sparks flying. "Actually, I don't think I can. I absorbed the crystal's magic, but it wasn't enough to restore me fully. Sorry." Aldrich swallows, his eyes wide with awe and a little bit of fear. What do we do now?" Just then, a voice booms through the cavern. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" Startled, Aldrich ducks as a huge troll steps out of the shadows. His eyes are dark pits in his leathery face, and his breath stinks like stale waste. "Who are you?" He growls, fixing his gaze on the dragon. "I am the last dragon, Emberwing," she says defiantly, puffing out her chest. The troll laughs, a grating sound that echoes through the cavern. "So you're the last one. How pathetic. And what are you doing here? Don't you know this is my lair?" "I'm looking for a way to save my home," says Aldrich. "My home is dying, and I believe that you might be able to help." The troll squints at him suspiciously. "Save your home, you say? I suppose I could use a hero to get rid of that blasted dwarf in charge of my taxes." He thinks for a moment, tapping his chin with a gnarled finger. "All right, I'm in. Take me to your dying kingdom and help me collect my taxes. Then maybe I'll feel generous and help you." Aldrich hesitates, but knows that this is his only chance. "Of course," he says, and leads the way out of the cave. Together, troll and dragon soar through the sky. Below them, the world seems to fade, becoming more and more distant. And Aldrich wonders if maybe this is where his story ends, if maybe this is the fate of Emberfall, that their dying embers will be scattered to the winds. But then he sees something that makes him smile. Far below, he sees the rivers flowing with renewed vigor, the trees bursting forth with new leaves, flowers blooming in fields of gold. Even the memories of those gathered around their dying fires begin to sharpen. Magic is returning to the world, and it's all because of the dragon. As they approach Emberfall, the trolls call out to the people below. "Greetings, subjects of Emberfall. Your tax collector has returned, and I have brought a friend to help me collect." He gestures to Emberwing, who winks at Aldrich. "Help me," she says with a smile. "Spread your wings, little dragon. Let us bring magic back to this world." And together, troll and dragon soar above the cheering crowds, bringing magic and life back to the dying kingdom. Later, when the townspeople had settled down and Aldrich was finally able to catch his breath, the troll cleared his throat awkwardly. So, about those taxes, he began, but Aldrich just laughed and threw his arms around him. You said you wanted to collect taxes, but I never said anything about you having to do it the hard way. Then he turned to Emberwing. Thank you, he said, bowing low. You saved our kingdom. Emberwing blushed, a faint pink tinging her scales. No, you saved me. Without you, I wouldn't have survived. She looked out over the kingdom, her eyes shining with newfound purpose. Together, we can bring back the old ways, reignite the world's magic, and bring prosperity back to Emberfall. And so Aldrich became the guardian of the realm, protector of the people, and friend to dragons. And if you ask me, that ain't no humble brag. That's mighty fine. Thanks for watching. To keep these free shorts coming, please hit like and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.